Hey, this is Brian from the education team with Digital Corner Solutions. And in this video today, we're going to talk about Facebook posts, boosting posts, why you shouldn't boost a Facebook post, and what you should do instead. And this is going to be an updated tutorial because the Facebook ads dashboard has recently undergone a pretty dramatic transformation. So let's say you want to boost a Facebook post. First and foremost, if you have a post that you want to promote to extend the reach of, it's always probably a good idea to first make sure that the post is doing well organically, outperforming your other posts. Because the bottom line is money doesn't really change anything. Spending ad dollars doesn't change anything. It just accelerates the process. So you might see a post that's doing well organically, so you're going to be tempted to boost it. But we don't want to do that. I'm going to show you what to do instead. The first thing you want to do is go over to your ads manager. Now, obviously, my ads manager is already going to be set up. If you have a Facebook page, you have an ads manager. You might just have to add some billing information there. But what we're going to do is we're going to essentially boost a post, but we're going to do it through the ads manager instead of just clicking that boost post button, which sometimes can be a waste of money. So we're going to go into my ads manager here, and I'm going to make sure and select the proper account. And I'm going to show you an example from a live account. That way you know what everything really looks like when you're dealing with active pages and active Facebook ads manager accounts. So I want to switch out the account that I'm actually using here. So this is my Brian Brewer, but I also have my advertising one down here. I'll just go ahead and search this. So the first thing we're going to actually want to do is we're going to actually want to find the post that we want to quote unquote boost or promote. So we can do this by clicking on the Ads Manager tab up here. And what we want to do is scroll down to the bottom. You can find the Page Posts section. When we click on that, it's going to open up a new window here, or open up a new page in the same window. And that's going to show us the posts that have been published on whichever page we select. So we're going to see three options over here on the left-hand side. We'll talk about in just a second. But the first thing we want to do is select the appropriate page. So we're just going to look at the Brian Brewer page here. And you can see over on the left-hand side, we have published posts, scheduled posts, and ads. So as it probably implies, the published posts are going to be posts that you post to your Facebook page organically. Scheduled posts, obviously posts that haven't been published but are scheduled. And then ads will be any posts that will run specifically as ads to begin with. So if we're thinking about boosting a post that's doing well, then we're probably looking at published posts. So once again, what we might do is we might find a post that is performing well organically. So if we just look at some of the last posts here, we can see that this one is getting a lot of engagement relative to my other posts. So that is a good candidate for a post that we might want to promote. However, before we go any further, I do want to caution you, engagement alone is usually not enough to satisfy our goals as a business. Usually we want to have some sort of measurable goal. Like we know a particular post is producing results, whether that's sales or leads or whatever it is. We want to make sure we're getting some sort of really valuable result from the post, not just likes, right? The only way that might not come into play, maybe you want likes, maybe you want to re-engage people who've liked your page in the past, or maybe you want to re-engage people who have visited your website in the past. Well, that's a perfect example of how we might want to use a boosted post like this. We can actually take a post that is performing well within our audience, and then we can advertise that to people who are already familiar with our brand. And what this can do is help remind them of our brand. So even if we don't drive direct sales, maybe we are going to re-engage them with their brand. Okay, I hope that makes sense. All right, so let's say this is the post that we're going to promote because this is the one that is outperforming the other ones. Okay, the easiest way to do this is to actually just click on this post here. It's going to bring up this preview in the new window. And you can see the metrics over here if you want. How many link clicks we're getting, how many likes we're getting. And you can see this is doing very well. We've got a lot of link clicks for this one particular post. This one resonated well with my audience. So the easiest way to do this is to copy this post ID up here. Just highlight that and hit Control C or Command C. Now we've copied that post ID, okay? From there, we can go back into the Ads Manager and actually create an ad using that particular post, which was an organic post on our Facebook page. What we're going to want to do is create an actual ad. Okay, so we're going to have different objectives here. Do we want traffic? Do we want engagement? Do we want conversions? Really what I want in this one, we saw that post was getting a lot of link clicks. So that's what I want. I want traffic. I want people to go over to the website where that particular video is hosted. So that's going to be my objective. I'll go ahead and click continue. This is going to be a new campaign. You can call it whatever you want. We have a traffic campaign. You can set the campaign budget optimization as on or off. We'll go ahead and turn that on right now. This is where we set the budget. Let's say we want to run $5 a day for this particular ad, and we want to get the lowest cost. So then we'll go next over to the ad set section of the ad creation. Now, one thing I might want to do down here in the audience section is I might want to serve this to people who have already liked my page or who have already engaged with my Facebook page, because what we know is this post is resonating with our current audience. So as I mentioned earlier, we might want to use this as an opportunity to re-engage people who haven't maybe visited our page or seen our stuff in a little while, right? I'll show you how to create that audience in just a second. So we'll go ahead and skip this portion right now. If you have certain age range or demographic that you want to reach, you can update that in this section. Down here, placements, you can use the automatic placements, or you can do manual placements, and that's probably recommended in this case because really we know this is performing well on Facebook, so we probably only want to quote unquote boost this post or promote this post on Facebook, right? And then down here in the asset customization, maybe we only want this in the actual news feeds, right? Because we know it's performing well in Facebook news feeds. So we probably don't want it in the marketplace. We probably don't want it in the video feeds, and we probably definitely don't want it on the right column. So we want to get rid of all of those other placements. Okay. Do we want it in stories? Probably not Facebook stories either. We only want that to perform. We only want that to show up where we already know it's performing well. And you can always test this. It's always a good idea to test this, however. Okay, now we have that set up where this post is only going to show up in Facebook news feeds, which is where it has already proven to perform well. Go ahead and click next. We'll get to the actual ad creation portion of the Facebook Ads Manager. This is where we'll create a new ad, and you can title this whatever you prefer, whatever you like. What we want to do is we want to make sure we select the proper page, which is going to be the Brian Brewer page in this case. Now, right below that, under the ad setup section, this is where we want to go from create ad to use an existing post, and we want to select that option. We go ahead and select the post, and this is where we're going to enter in that post ID that we copied earlier. If we hit enter, you can see it brings up that particular post. We can select that and continue on. It's going to give us a preview of what the ad will look like. And what you're going to see here is because this particular post has a thumbnail with a lot of text on it, they say the ads reach might be slightly lower, request a manual review. Probably in the future, I would just choose a post that was performing well that didn't have all this text in the thumbnail. So now if we take a look at the preview here, we can see exactly what this post is going to look like. It's going to have this little sponsored badge underneath the name here, or whatever the name of your page is. But the bottom line is now that will be running to the audience that you selected, just as it did when it was an organic post after you hit publish. But really quickly, let's talk about how we go about actually creating an audience that we might want to serve this post or ad to which could be, once again, a custom audience of people who are familiar with us, but maybe they haven't seen us for a little while. So the way we're going to do that is we're going to go back over to the Ads Manager. We're going to go over to the Audiences tab. And what we want to do is we want to create a custom audience. Under this Audiences tab here, we want to go ahead and create an audience, and we want to create a custom audience. And what we want to do is we want to create a custom audience based off of our Facebook page in this case. Another example, we could maybe create a custom audience off of people who have interacted with our Instagram profile. This could be a way to bring people from Instagram over to our Facebook page. Just another idea there. So what we'll do is we'll click on the Facebook page. After that, we want to select the appropriate page, of course. And once again, that is the Brian Brewer page, if I can find it here. There we go. And so here are our options. We could create an audience of everyone who has engaged with our page in the last 365 days, anyone who's visited your page, engaged with a post, clicked the call to action button, people who sent you a message, or people who saved your post. But for the purposes of this, I would just probably select anyone who's engaged with your page in the last 365 days. That is basically telling Facebook that we want an audience of people who have become at least somewhat familiar, potentially liked us within the past year, and they have at least some sort of familiarity with our business and brand. This way we can hopefully once again re-engage them by serving them a post that has been proven to do well with our existing audience. So I would just call this Engaged with Brian Brewer 365 days. And I always put the days there because we might want to just reach people who have recently interacted with our page, people who have engaged with our page in 30 days because they're going to be more intimately familiar and we're going to be more fresh in their mind. But once again, if I'm treating this like a re-engagement post, we'll do 365 days. We'll go ahead and create the audience. Now, if we go back into our Facebook Ads Manager here, and we go ahead and we look back at that campaign that we were just creating, we can see that audience will appear under the options for custom audiences. This way we are only serving ads to people in the exact way we want to, on Facebook, in the feeds, and only people who are somewhat familiar with our brand. So let's go ahead, make sure we get in the right Ads Manager again. Under the Campaigns tab, we'll go ahead and create the campaign. We just quickly go through the process here again, and we get back into the Ad Set Manager here. We can see that if we scroll down to the custom audience targeting option here, we go ahead and custom audiences. We can search for Brian Brewer, and there it is. The people who have engaged with the Brian Brewer page in the last 365 days. That's the people we will target with our Facebook ad. If you want more advanced training on running Facebook ads for your business so that you can generate more leads, make more sales, and ultimately increase the revenue of your business, go ahead and check out the first link in the description below this video for our only recommended Facebook ads course. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already done so. We'll see you soon.